Hey, it's Mark Striegel of Talking Metal, and what an honor once again on the podcast, Dee Snider. Dee, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, Mark. After working on this record for many, many months, it's great to finally have people hearing what we did and getting responses. And you always got your fingers crossed. You start with like, oh, this is a great idea, real inspired. You get in there, and, oh, this is really coming out cool. And then somewhere along the way, it becomes a question mark. Is this really coming out cool?
Right. No,
is this a great idea? Doubt creeps in. And so now finally people are hearing it and going, oh, yeah. All right, good. Yeah, they're getting it. They like it. And it was as cool as we'd hoped.
Yeah, it is rocking. And man, it starts off with the great song, I Gotta Rock Again. Let's talk about this song. Can you tell me a little bit about this specific song?
It really was the inspiration for the entire record. Well, there were a few flashpoints, honestly, but I haven't written anything since 95, 25 years.
Wow.
This second Widowmaker record, I virtually have not written a thing. And I always would work with song titles. I would always have a list that I would carry with me. And when I wanted to do some writing, I would use the list. The titles would inspire the song and the words. And 25 years ago, I don't know what happened to that list. Probably the titles wouldn't have related to me today anyway. So I was in the middle of COVID, like everybody, and I just had the thought, man, I got to rock again. I chuckled and I said, wow, there was ever a Dee Snider song title. That's it. The guy said, you can't stop rock. I want to rock. I believe in rock. Bad Boys of Rock. I'm rock. And I wrote it down. I got to rock again. And I laughed again. And I said, this is probably what everybody's feeling. Right.
And that's what I wanted to get into, because to me, when I heard it, I'm a guy who goes to concerts all the time. And it was just like, I was like, yeah, this hit me. This emotionally hit me, and I'm so ready for concerts to start up. I don't know if it's the right time for them. I thought it was. And now I'm like scratching my head again.
Me too. I've got one or two things happen. I've got a live stream we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
With a vaccinated and tested audience. But which is really exciting. My first show over 2 years, almost 2 years, I should say. But yeah, I think it's going to take a little longer before we really get this. I think 2022 is when we'll see the true return, where we're not like second guessing ourselves,
So do you think some of these bands that are going out, you think it's a little premature then?
Look, it's their personal choice. But I see that. I know that like different, depending on what state you're going to, it's affecting the attendance and who's going to be there. And, and plus we're seeing spiking. So they're booking tours and, the Tokyo Olympics looks like it's being canceled, so I'm just saying, I don't want to go through all that trouble, set all this up. I've already been through this with a lot of dates with some things I do. I said, I'd rather wait till it settles and then make plans. So, but I want to be there in 2022. I want to be there singing "You Can't Stop Rock and Roll."
Right on.
Meaning I never thought it would have. I wrote that song in my 20s. It was the late 70s. It was about my bosses, my teachers, my parents. It was a rebellion song. You can't stop rock and roll. I never even thought that something would happen that would literally stop us in our tracks. Right so on. I look forward to singing that with an audience like behind me. Like that.
Yeah.
So with a fist in the air, you can't stop rock and roll.